terrible state here. What with summer holidays and flu, we're all doing everyone else's job.
It happens to the best of us.
Success. No smudges.
And this is all...
Was he just staring at her ass? Just the way he was looking just now, like he was staring at her ass for a second. Hi guys, Gerard, it's me, Ray, and I am back with you to watch another episode of Sunday Classic Sci-Fi. So, I'm looking forward to watching this. What we're going to watch today is called The Day the Earth Caught Fire. So I'm looking at my notes to make sure I get it all right. From 1961, I'm looking forward to watching this. This was recommended by Natalie. She's on my Patreon. I do appreciate this is what you nominated to go to watch. And what I do know about the movie, the notes I have here, is that the movie was directed by a gentleman named Val Guest, who also was a director for a movie or the show, I think a movie called Quatermass Experiment. Now, I did see Quatermass, and yeah, I told him about Quatermass. I think like 2 or 3 of these, right? So I did see one of the Quatermass movies, and I don't know if it's the experiment one or not, or was it the same director. But it'd be interesting if it was, to see if it's the same style of what we're about to watch. The actors in this is Edward Judd, Janet Monroe, Leo McKern, and Arthur Christensen. And it seems to be a cameo from a very young Michael Caine. So the movie made about, let's see here, the budget was like £200,000. And I don't think I see what the box office was. So there's no specific information on what the box office was for this movie. So I'm looking forward to watching this. It should be very interesting. Again, this is called The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Let's do this. Did we get attacked already? Were we attacked? Oh, look at this. It's a hell of a way to start the movie. It looks so hot. I guess this color, this sepia type of tone, is to invoke the sense that the movie's called When Earth Caught Fire. I guess the heat, it must be really, the weather's got to be bad. So I wonder if we're going to be looking at some type of climate change. Is he alone? Is he the last person on Earth? It can't be.
Or another beginning. The rebirth of man, or his final obituary.
Recorrecting bombs?
Man pursued his brother with a sword.
About the only thing not underwater in that area seems to be Windsor Castle. Martin's down there taking photography.
It went from that dire sepia color to black and white. Pretty interesting.
From Jakarta.
We got enough splashes with these floods.
What have we got?
A flash. Spitsbergen reports the largest earth tremors ever recorded.
Sorry I wasn't around, sir.
Are we just attacking each other?
There's usually a lot of sunspot static this time of year. Enjoying the last week, it's been heavier than ever. The TV people are having trouble with their pictures.
It says the public.
That's the radiation, right? I mean, he's dropping bombs. I mean, I'm assuming this is all bomb stuff, right? Nukes is what I mean by bombs.
By them in.
Yeah, why not?
Was it 61? Probably still part of the Cold War scare.
These floods. What about a Daily Express arc? You know what I think? I should get my finger out and back on the typewriter. Roughly. Alcoholics of the press unite. Yes?
I imagine there's probably a lot of alcoholics back then who worked in the newspaper.
Please.
Tom, about these seismograph readings of the latest American experiment. Would you say they were bigger than the official announcement gives out? Oh, off the record, of course.
You're calling a newspaper off the record, of course, sure. Like he won't use, at least today's news people, I guess, we use that. Today's reporters, off the record. What would you get anything off the record for? It seems like a lot of chaos is going on, right? At least in the newsroom, the way things are, they're reporting everything and keeping track of everything.
Steady, what the hell do you want?
Well, just tell me yes or no.
I don't have to tell you anything, Steady. You've got no special position that entitles you to a first break.
He's hiding something.
Office?
You mean something has come in?
He's hiding something. He knows what's going on. He ain't gonna. It'll lead to panic.
All right, sir.
Come in immediately.
I mean, we're gonna find out anyway because 90 days went by and they were already burning up.
Steady.
I don't know what your job is, young man, but it's not mine to speculate.
Come along,
But
Steady.
they are different, aren't they, Sir John?
You're not making it any easier.
Tell you what, this guy got He got the balls to do what he's doing, to go and just rush into people's places and start asking questions.
For a story off me now.
We're in a terrible state here. What with summer holidays and flu, we're all doing everyone else's job.
It happens to the best of us.
Success. No smudges.
And this is all...
Was he just staring at her ass? Just the way he was looking just now, like he was staring at her ass for a second.
Just for my record, I like your name.
Russia announced world's largest nuclear test explosion, Siberia, last Monday, 8 p.m. Force of bomb stated exceeds American by 20%. End flash.
Anything you can do, I can do better. All right, this is a change.
That's what it is. So it's a test between America and Russia trying out bombs. Everybody else is caught in the middle, like the UK in this case.
Check messenger. Coming. Library.
And they're concerned. And then it's leading to sunspots?
Time factor between them.
Which has to be radiation.
That would be New Zealand time.
I pass. You, Jock. Find me the biggest mushroom picture in the file. See if there's any stock blocks. Smudge, slip edition coming down in 5 minutes at most. So get a bloody move on.
Don't we always?
If he's the editor of the newspaper, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Back then,
Read said, what's the betting some princess is pregnant again?
there's so much going on, and he's running it like a champ.
Well, fellows, they haven't made beer illegal. Henry, down the chute, quick. Make sure they've got the mushroom block.
It looks very frantic. Every scene he has in this newsroom, not newsroom, well, I guess newsroom, it seems so frantic.
As well.
What happened? I had trouble with sunspots, Checker.
Yeah, I bet you did, but it read fine. John, where's that bomb data? Let's have it back a minute. Thank you.
So they're making out like that sunspot's a small story. Meanwhile, it's probably the main story. They're not even aware of it. That's where it's coming across.
Well, the opposition's late tonight.
We don't admit any opposition.
Members only in the door?
2 large lean steaks.
No, not for me. I'll have a scotch.
Was that a common thing back then in the UK? Were there like little pubs that were members only?
See stuff tonight, so you can have a look for a change. May turn out to be a hard-drinking, hard-fighting son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, that part of his parentage is for sure.
You know, as a single dad who, you know, had to go back and forth with my wife at the time, or my ex, and share the kids, that went through my mind too. You know, you think about, oh, it's not my kids anymore. These kids, I feel him. I understand where he's coming from.
Paperman's wife, coming home all hours of the night.
We derive our support from individuals of all parts. The campaign for nuclear disarmament opposes all...
Yeah, there has to be major fear. It makes sense. Look at the people protesting. It made sense they're protesting.
It's an eclipse. That certainly wasn't in the schedule.
They can't see solar flares from up there.
Look, it's a straight line. Follow it down. Here's Western Australia. Arid wastes, 2 feet deep in water. New Zealand floods. And at home, an untabled eclipse.
So they're claiming that the testing of these nuclear bombs are creating climate change.
I read in the papers. There may be some out.
Pretty relevant today, the climate change story.
Frankly, I wouldn't know.
Well, I want to know.
In this case, many of you will blame the unfortunate concurrence of the 2 nuclear detonations. Well, of course, this is nonsense. It is...
How do you know? I guess that's what it is. That's what the story's about, right?
Just like the blue paper and...
The secrecy that the government's giving out on them. We know the bombs, at least the newspaper know that the bomb being tested, which I'm sure they're going to print out in a minute. And again, it's the reason why they're not trying to... That's 95 degrees. It's crazy. Why the secrecy is the sunspot, because it has to be something like that, right? That's causing this change. What they're calling a sunspot, which is probably radiation. 95 degrees in England, and 61. I'm sure there was no ACs. That sounds hot.
Will we go on the goose train next Sunday?
Yes, we will.
You really make things very difficult for me, Mr. Stenning. Goodbye, then,
Girl,
Daddy.
you're the nanny. You're just a nanny. Shut the hell up. Oh my God, I'll lose my shit.
Your mother will be angry.
You shouldn't take him there. You don't have a name. Girl, I'm the dad. I'm upset now. Do you think I'm gonna stick around if I saw that?
Okay, I found them.
Well, that's great. Now, do you think you can find me?
Keep talking.
Control to Miss Control to Miss waiting for you to come on in. Come on in. The water's...
They seem to be pretty calm for what's going on. I mean, I'll be freaking out.
terrible, isn't it?
Well, now, and what's your name, my dear?
Trixie.
And who did you come out with, Trixie?
Rita.
Well, you stay here with me and we'll wait for Rita to come out, all right?
I know Michael Caine is playing a cop. I wonder if that was him.
Edward Terrace.
Had the longest summer, have we?
Not yet. There'll be 3 feet of snow by tea time.
You don't want to joke about that.
Dude, I'll be so scared. This is frightening. Let alone that we haven't even addressed all the sunspots you guys talking about. That might be full of sunspot.
Look for him now and then.
I'll be so panicked. I will be thinking that that fog, I'm breathing it in. My lungs are getting destroyed. I have no other choice. I will be inside the whole time.
The station's closed. You know, they say it's not what you call a true fog, more like a sort of heat mist. Heavier than your typical fog, it is.
Thanks for the breakdown.
Mister, where are we, mister? Ask him, Dad.
Where are
You know, it's funny because this dialogue, you see people talking here, I can follow it. When we're back in the newsroom, it's like, it's hard to follow what they're saying. It's like this, they're talking over each other. It feels like they're talking over each other.
Bankman? Look, I'll show
In the newsroom, anyway.
Please need troubles in a coffee bath.
This seems
This guy's a little aggressive, isn't he?
do me a favor, just use the phone and go.
Lady says you gotta go, you gotta go.
I can see why he got divorced. By the way, is her bed in the living room?
Yes? Right? Miss Evans? All right, move and hit hard. Bill, write your story. I'm not sold on it, but I'll print it. It might force something big.
I mean, that might be what the movie's aiming for. Is that what it is? They're just bombing through Earth off the axis?
Professor Chakotay,
And that's what's causing the climate change.
London.
You're not getting any fancy flying. The deal is straight up, straight down.
Well, don't think this isn't my favorite assignment, because it isn't.
Now, I'm wondering, though, if this movie is supposed to be an allegory, maybe, to the... Well, I mean, I can see that there is definitely a fear of the Cold War. But did they know back then that there's going to be global warming? That's when they found out back in the day? Just not knowing exactly how it started?
May be obtained from the
Blaming it on bombs, of course, but...
7.
352 intercepting the ILS beam at 2,000 feet.
Roger 352. The runway visibility now is 80 yards.
Dude, this is going to be super dangerous.
I think our British police are wonderful. Where's the houseboat?
Over there, sir.
We return you now to late night dance music.
There should be nobody outside. I don't think radiation from a nuclear bomb carries over this far. If that's the reason why they got the sunspots. Plus, I shouldn't trigger an eclipse. She likes him, right? Then why is she playing super hard to get? I mean, I get it, but...
Hello? Let's change the subject, shall we?
To what?
Pete Stenning.
Too dull.
What happened, Pete?
What happened?
They say you used to be a writer.
He's going through it. He's losing his kid. He's an alcoholic.
Shall we?
Well, that...
The world's coming to an end.
Do you think it will...
I'm laughing because these old pictures, when they're going to kiss each other, it's almost violent. It's like this is her head, this is his head, and they're like, they seem to ram into each other for a kiss. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be panicking so bad, and it wouldn't even just be me. I know everybody would be panicking.
In the secret places of the earth, ye shall be found out for the last judgment. Come.
I would think that a lot of these guys would be appearing out of nowhere saying repent. The end is near. Like a lot will probably come out. Adding, if not multiplying, the fear.
Fanny Mac have got pictures as they cross the Seine.
When do we get them?
A couple of hours with luck. It almost wrecked Le Bourget. The other airports are jammed.
We'll need a photo news extra.
Hope nobody kicks about the price.
Bill, there's an extra page going.
It's hard to keep up sometimes with what they're saying in the newsroom. Like they're like,
Mr. Covered 3/4.
You may remember that.
you see?
I wasn't drunk and I wasn't drinking at that.
Look, Pete, I'll forget you resigned. Give it a few days. Anyway, I thought Bill McGuire was a friend of yours.
Yeah.
He always behaved like a friend, Sanderson.
Yeah, maybe it's...
It have to be that, right? The divorce and everything. That's why he's not writing no more. He's not Like, he has depression. He's depressed. He's not an alcoholic. He's going through it.
I need you, Dad. You need that, so drink it.
Put him on the slate, Mayweather.
I guess we're going to find out. I hope we're going to find out now.
I had a funny story on my way to the park this morning.
How funny?
So this just set off a huge panic. If this is what they're printing out and giving it to the masses. This is actual footage of some disasters, natural disasters.
Jeannie, what else could I do?
I don't want to hear, I don't want to know.
It had to come out, Jeannie. You couldn't sit on a thing like...
I knew he was going to lie. We all knew he was going to lie about it.
Your name, Jeannie. Nobody used your name.
But I have the utmost confidence the world scientists can produce solutions for any of the climatic problems.
You know, it's funny. There hasn't been, like, what makes this interesting is that this movie has been, the news is coming, the information we got is coming from a newsroom. We haven't seen a scientist or anybody explain any of this.
World scientists.
Wildfires are a scary thing. I don't know if you guys seen those videos 2 or 3 years ago about those fires in California and people driving through, you know, a whole forest on fire. It's scary. Really, you go to jail for using it the wrong way, the water.
What?
Well, something. They've got to do something. They can't just let...
They messed up. They don't know any better.
I need some...
Pete,
I need you, Jeannie.
I need you too.
That was fast. But it makes sense, right? Here we are at the end of the world, moving towards the sun.
Attention, please. There will be an emergency announcement of national importance by the Prime Minister at 9 o'clock tonight.
I'm thinking, why don't they try getting the nukes again and try to like, blow it back to where it belongs? Put Earth back back in its axis and back in orbit.
Or at least check the movement towards the sun.
How do we do that?
And so, 4 thermonuclear bombs
The correction bombs from this early in the movie.
simultaneously. With it, we can only place ourselves in the hands of the Almighty.
Dude, that I couldn't imagine how frightening that would be. Like if that would, like we got that announcement and we know about that happening right now, and the guy already mentioned he did the math. He said that we'll be gone in 4 months, 4 months, and now we're gonna rely on a bomb that got us in this problem in the first place to go back and put it back where it belongs.
Don't touch many of you. Keep away.
The time is now 10:52. 8 minutes before countdown.
It's amazing that they still got cabs working. I'm assuming that was a cab.
Burning deck.
These shots are incredible. Look at this. World saved? Oh. I guess they did it. No. World doomed. Oh, they don't know yet. It depends what happens and what they're going to print.
And if there is a future for man, insensitive as he is, proud and defiant in his pursuit of power, let him resolve to live it lovingly, for he knows well how to do so. Then he may say once more, truly the light is sweet, and what a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to see the sun.
Is this how it ends? Oh. Wow. Okay. Okay. That was quite ambiguous, right? Wasn't it? So we don't know. We don't know as the audience. We don't know if they made it or not. What an interesting movie. I can only imagine that back in the day, you know, right after World War II, because of the nuclear bombs, the bombs that were used in Japan, and also the race to make a bigger, better bomb, that during the Cold War, it just the anxiety must have been high, right? So this movie to me feels like it's like a reflection of that, reflection of the war sentiment, the Cold War, anti-bombs. We saw in the protest and the anti-protest. So I can see how this would resonate back then. Was that theme? Because people were living this, and this was the fear. The fear was that we're going to destroy the Earth, whatever reason. The sci-fi is the fact that we're moving towards the sun, which I can't imagine how we're going to fix that with another bomb and put it back where it belongs. There wasn't that much science stuff here that made sense. To what we know today, right? Because I don't think a bomb can do that. Like a bomb cannot knock it out of. If we change the axis, probably not by much, let alone 11 degrees, and then floating towards the sun. So that's the sci-fi element of it, right? But still, it does show that the UK was in the middle of all this, right? The UK, everybody, the whole world is in the middle of what's happening between these two superpowers, between between Russia and the US, right? So everybody else is pretty much just looking and standing by as bystanders, and we're destroying the Earth. And the idea that it happens through global warming, right? At least that's where it started before we realized what was happening. Then global warming, we were looking at climate changes, right? It was like we had that fog, we had the water drought, we had the heat nowadays, especially the heat now. That's pretty obvious. Especially with I found it very effective that we went from black and white. Well, what started off was that sepia dark heat color that's representing the heat, and you know what? It was very effective because as soon as I saw that, I just felt like the sweat was ready to pour down out of me, you know. So you felt that. So it was a really good job, I think, with the camera to express that feeling. Now, when we go to Pete, first of all, they were all good actors. I think they were all well done. Pete was very human. Pete was a very human character, even though he was a bit aggressive. Was Jenny really her name? He was very aggressive, but at the same time, he was very human. Like, he's losing his child, you know. The ex-wife, by the way, she looked very sad. When she was leaving to the countryside with her son and looking at Pete, there was like this sorrow on her face. And she did a really good job. The actress did a really good job in molding that and showing that, you know, the skill that you felt that there was still something there. And Pete might have been a problem, and he's an alcoholic as well. He doesn't an alcoholic, right? So you probably don't want an alcoholic around a child that young. So who knows what problems he brought to the house. It looked like she still loved him, but she probably can't live with him. And he doesn't look like a very easy guy to live with. But I did like how human his story was. Because people go through that. You know, people going through a divorce. You know, people going, they have their kid involved. It's affecting his work, because he can't even work anymore. Like he couldn't write stories until the very end, where we saw him writing the story of what was happening. Right. So I thought that was great. The newsroom, though, that was like crazy. Like it was the banter was so quick. And at times they were talking over each other, and forgive me, guys. You know, the accent when you're talking that fast and then talking over each other, a lot of it, you know, was like I lost a lot of it because of that. But it was showing. I'm not complaining about it because to me it was showing a sense of urgency on what's happening to the world. They were all, you know, talking like that. Maybe that's a sign of nervousness, or it could be just how people just spoke back then in the newsroom. That information, because these guys are all about words, right? They're all about words. They're all about they're wordsmiths. So the the quips here and there, the quick jokes, how fast they did it, it made sense that people who were in the newsroom who work with words all day long, and then they work in the newspaper, they type in the articles, that they talk like that. You know, I don't fit in that category. I mean, I can write, but definitely not as quick as that, and I definitely can't even talk that fast. But that I did like that only happened in the newsroom. When they were out in the park, when they were out at the house, or anywhere they went, it was a regular conversation. You know, people talked, they went a regular dialogue. But every single time we were in the newsroom, it was like, and then again, talking over each other at times. And I think that was to to portray the sense of urgency about, again, I'm repeating again, about what's going on, about what's happening, you know. So I thought that was excellent. I really did like that. But then you also had the secrecy, like the government secrecy. They were not sharing anything. And then when they did have information, like, oh, well, come over here, we'll talk about it. And we didn't hear it. Like, we had to wait a little longer before they slowly revealed it. So I thought this movie was excellent. This is a really good movie. This is a great movie. I really did like this. I have no issues with watching a movie just based off of dialogue and very little action. I'm all about it if it makes sense. If you give me a good story, that was really good. Let alone when it's well acted, you know. So that was excellent. So I did like that very much. So this is all in all a really good movie. I think it still had. I don't know if it's maybe a British feel. Because when you watch British sci-fi, it's very unique. It always has been unique, as opposed to anybody else's sci-fi, like American sci-fi, Japanese sci-fi, anybody who has sci-fi at the time. So there's something about there's a uniqueness to it that it feels very human. Like, for example, when I watched Villains of the Dam, right? And you know, there was a thing about, you know, how all these babies were born without, you know, the parent, or at least not both parents. But it was very weird science. But there was a lot of human aspects to this particular movie back then. So even if I'm saying that because that's what I feel was this one. So I like that how they show the human emotion, the human part to whatever's going on. It makes a lot of sense, and it grounds it, as opposed to a sci-fi where everybody's, you know, an actor. You know their motivation right off the bat. They're not three-dimensional. And here I felt there was you could see there was definitely some three-dimensional characters, especially the guy for Peter. So I did like this. It's an excellent movie. Highly recommended. This movie, again, I didn't know, I don't know how much money this movie made, but it was a budget of £200,000. The director, Val Guess, again, did a good movie, a good job. I need to find out what other movies he's done because I like his style. Especially with the coloring here, that was an excellent choice. Really well done. But anyway, I guess there was that woman, that one cop maybe, who Michael Caine was towards his appearance. So I gotta look at it again. He was a police constable. So, but other than that, guys, I really did enjoy it. I want to thank Natalie again. Thank you, Natalie, for recommending this movie. And if you want to recommend movies for us, guys, you want to add more to what I'm looking at, I have a whole list on Patreon. It has over 100 movies on it. Go in there, add it. Just freely go in there and add movies you want to add to it, and then I can we'll find out when I get to it. And if you do it, I can give you a shout out, watch the movie, and enjoy it with me. But anyway, guys, listen. This movie will be available on our Patreon for those $3 a month, unedited. You'll find the link in the description below. You'll find out with everything I've done before for Classic Sci-Fi Sundays, and any other shows we've done here before as well. So again, you'll find the link in the description below, guys. Listen, if you like supporting our channel, guys, we have a merchandise store where we sell hoodies and hats and shirts. And if you'd like to support us, you don't want to do the Patreon, but this is a good way of doing that. We got Mother's Day coming up. We got Father's Day coming up. Check out the merchandise below, guys. Go buy something for your mom and your dad. All right. If not, your grandmom and your granddad. Do that. Well, again, the link is in the description below. Listen, I appreciate you hanging out with me, guys. I want you to tell me what you thought about this movie when you saw it. Leave your comment in the comment section. Was this one of those movies that's frightening you? You know, but this is really thought-provoking. It wasn't scary. I mean, you can see how it is scary, but it was very thought-provoking, and I want to know your thoughts. Did you see, again, same question, did you see in the theater? Did you watch it at a movie theater, at home? Did you a DVD? Did you own the movie? Anyway, let me know. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me. We are Our Nights. I'm Ray. We'll see you soon. Take care.